From Transformers and the Walmart exclusive Legacy Evolution Toxitron collection, we are looking at Cloudcover and Toxitron himself, the big man. Now, I'll be honest, I thought I did a Cloudcover review, but went back to check. No, I must have just opened him at some point. As for Toxitron, I am kind of sad I didn't pick him up sooner. He never showed up in my area, and looking back on it, I wish I had picked up his wavemate Grimlock, but that's beside the point. My unending love for G2 and the very weird repaint some of the figures got are on clear display here, because we're going to talk about this absolutely delightful Seeker, and also this green and purple disaster. Toxitron is already getting very cheap brownie points from me because he came packaged in vehicle mode. My big belief is that you should always do that with Transformers, so that when you get to robot mode, there's a certain sense of extra satisfaction, you know? But in any case, we're going to take a look at vehicle modes first. Why don't we start with our Seeker Boy, and then we'll just look at that. Cloudcover is great. I love this deco. The whole idea is that it's this kind of weird, almost like 90s graphic, but the idea is that from the ground, he would look like the sky. The white streaks are supposed to be, you know, like contrails or even just straight up clouds, and then you have the blue like the sky. I love this. It's a great deco for a Seeker. It's a great idea for a Seeker. That's also why he has the name Cloudcover. He's taking cover in the clouds. There's not much you can actually do in this mode. You, of course, have the null rays. You could pop them out, move them around, I guess. I don't know why, but, you know, you can do that. The big thing really is just that deco. And if you're curious, this guy is a bit of a kibosh between different cone heads. The body is Ramjet, but the head will be Dirge. It's a shame they weren't able to put thrust wings on here somewhere, then we could have had all three. And then you have Toxitron. He is a straight repaint of the G2 Laser Prime that came out in the original Legacy Wave. He, of course, also shares the mold with the Velocitron 5000 Scourge. I think right now, just looking at the truck mode, maybe it'll change when we get to robot mode, but just looking at the truck mode, this is my favorite use of the mold so far. I love how all this looks. You can disconnect the trailer, and then just looking at the truck, the greens, the blacks, the purples, they're all working so well together. The funny thing is, it's not quite Devastator colors either. Devastator has a darker green. This, like, baby puke green is working really, really well, making a very gross-feeling color scheme. As for the trailer, I like it in theory. I like the purple. I like the purple throughout. I like the overall black casing. It's the kind of orange paint streaks that are really taking me out of it. That said, that is accurate to the original. If you don't know the history of Toxitron, he was a canceled toy. He was supposed to be a repainted G2 Laser Prime put into the Universe 2003 toy line. It got canceled, and as a result, he's always been kind of a favorite of fans. He had a few BotCon figures, and now he's back at proper mass retail, weirdly enough, rocking the body he should have always had. There's something magical about that. Alright, let's go into robot mode. The weirdest thing to me is, even though I paired these two up at random, there is a strange synergy between them. It feels right to have these two as a pair. They're like Ren and Stimpy in some ways, right down to the shorter one being the angrier one. The pair are really fun together, even though they're going for very different things with their decos. Cloudcover is nice, clean, it makes sense. Toxitron is going out of their way to being garish, and yet kind of comes back around to looking good as a color scheme again. Cloudcover is yet another reuse of that Earthrise Seeker body. Not that I'm complaining, it's probably my favorite Seeker body there is at mass retail. It looks so good here. The blue, the white, and the black already would make a great color scheme. But I think that the yellow and black check ring that makes it look more like Cloudcover is supposed to like have high vis elements to his design actually really help. Keep in mind, the idea here is that he is like blending into the sky. It would make sense that he would have these little markings so that the Decepticons could see him if they were trying to look out for him. It's a good little internal logic. And I kind of wish we saw this guy in media now because, hey, it'd be kind of cool to see in action. But let's actually look at the figure itself. You have a ball joint at the head, you have a universal at the shoulder, you also have an upper arm cut, a good single joint elbow, nothing in the wrist, nothing in the waist, but a universal at the hip, a good forward. The pelvic armor does get out of the way. You have an upper leg cut, a good single jointed knee, but you can cheat it if you want to undo the knee. And then down here at the feet, we have back and forth and a little bit of side to side. What makes the cone head mold unique is, of course, there's no wings up here in the shoulders, so you have no issue with shoulder movement. But because the wings are down here, it can impair the leg movement just a bit. Just be aware of it. Alongside that, I love the fact that they used the dirge head sculpt here. Like, the rest of the body undeniably is Ramjet, but having Dirge's head and having that screaming, angry face, I really enjoy. Most of the Seekers, I don't like the screamy face. On Skywarp, for instance, didn't like it there. In all honesty, I didn't like it on Dirge either. But I do like it on Cloudcover, and I think it's because, despite the bright pastels, he actually does look like he would be the angriest out of the bunch. And then you have Toxitron, who is just a work of art. I mean, seriously, the head sculpt, the painting, everything here is exactly the same as it was on Laser Prime and on Scourge. And yet, this new paint job that's supposed to give him brighter colors than ever before really does show all the intricate sculpted detail in the body. I like it a lot. We also have some good articulation on the go. We have a ball joint in the head. You have a universal at the shoulder, and the flaps do get out of the way, don't get me wrong, but the shoulder armor is always going to be a little bit annoying to me at least. You have an upper arm cut, a single joint elbow, wrist swivel, waist swivel, universal at the hip, a good upper leg cut, as well as a single jointed knee, and then down here at the foot, you can go back and forth with both the toe and the heel, and you got side to side. So you have good articulation, especially in the lower body, but I would say that he's not quite as smooth in articulation as, say, the Reveal the Shield G2 Laser Optimus. I do kind of wish we ever got that mold as Toxitron, but hey, better late than never, right? Where this figure excels is undeniably in accessories. Talking about the big one, we still have the trailer here, but the trailer actually has a transformation of its own. Let me get this figured out here. Here we go. Boop, and boop, up, and move this stuff down and around. There we go. I actually forget how some of this is supposed to go. It's been a while since I've messed with this figure. I think it's like that. Yep. So something like that. So now we have a very cool little command base. We have a little grabber arm, kind of similar to the proper G1 trailer. We have a gun turret up here. I will say, on the original Laser Prime and on Scourge, this is a disc launcher. Obviously, doesn't shoot anything here, but still kind of cool to have. Usually I'm not big on trailers with Optimuses. I think that they just kind of balloon the price point for no particularly good reason. This trailer isn't great. I don't love it, but I do like it more than other Optimus trailers. So, there's that. But hey, there's more to Toxitron than just that dusty old trailer. If you were to open up his chest, you can see he still has the Matrix. Oh wow, it's wedged in there. Let me try to get that out. Come on. Come on. When I was there we go. He still has the Matrix, but this time it's done entirely in this very gross looking translucent orange that actually has little flakes of brown inside it. So it looks like it's a literally rusty Matrix. I love that. Toxitron, at least according to Transformers Animated, is supposed to be like the Bizarro Optimus, whereas Nemesis is supposed to be evil Optimus. This guy's supposed to just be opposite Optimus, not necessarily evil, just different. So I like the idea that he would also have a very poor excuse for the Matrix. He does also come with a couple of good accessories. The axe, I have never liked. It doesn't really work as a shield, but you can go for it. You could plug the sword into it. That does something for someone, I'm sure. But the sword is always cool. And I love this translucent greenish yellow they've gone for. Makes it look absolutely disgusting, like the dude just has a sword made out of puke. As for the axe, again, not the best, but at least it does look kind of cool. We can get it in both hands, and then boom. We have Toxitron ready to fight the world for his boyfriend. In all honesty, the weirdest part of these figures to me is the fact that it is making me like Toxitron more to have Cloudcover with him. I've had Cloudcover for a long while, but this just feels right. Of course he would be buddies with Toxitron. Of course these two would be wacky, odd couple. There should be a sitcom about these two. I'd watch it, why not? Maybe Cloudcover's trying to get that new promotion for Starscream, and Toxitron is just trying to, get through the day being Toxitron-ish. I don't know what Toxitron does in his spare time. Also, if you flip this out, you have missiles that come out, and they don't actually pop out past that, but they just kind of show up as a, representation of what the toy used to be able to do. I definitely didn't forget this. I definitely am not filming this hours later. Definitely not. Putting them together with my other two favorites from the Toxitron collection, that being Sideswipe and Laser Cycle, I don't know what to tell you guys. I just got a call from John Hasbro. And John Hasbro confirmed to me that these four are supposed to be a very loving family. So, I mean, my hands are tied here. It just seems as though all of these goodest boys and girls are just here living their best life. And we should, be happy. I'm not saying that you have to get all four, but what I am saying is, can you really split up this family? Look, all joking aside, I don't know why I like all four of these figures as much as I do, but they do all work really well together. I think that this was a phenomenal wave. It's one where there wasn't a dud. I wish I'd ever found Dead End. I didn't. I wish I'd picked up Grimlock, but I didn't. I think that out of every subline we've seen from Hasbro, including Velocitron, including Buzzworthy, including all the others, I think the Toxitron collection wound up being my favorite. Just because, look at them. This is a group that deserved to be out on the shelves together.